to my channel. So today I'll be breaking down another trade I took on Euro USD. Alright, so from the higher time frame perspective, that is, let's go to the 4 even from so I've been bullish on Euro USD for some time now because of this whole shifting market structure here, because we were trending down, right, and then eventually started breaking the highs, broke this high, and then price was giving a pullback. So I only saw this as a pullback. I'm not anticipating that this will actually continue the downtrend. I'm anticipating that this will just be a retracement and then we'll have a continuation to all these levels that I have on my chart, right? So today I don't know if I should call it a mistake or what, but when we had a break of this high here, right, I was looking for a pullback and then a retest of a demand zone here before price begins to rally up, right? So I think it's on the 1 hour, yeah 30 minutes. Yeah, this indecision candle here, this was the zone I was targeting, that price would come back to it to give a retest, right, before I would start looking for buys. Now this happened on Friday. On Friday we had this price movement when the the 50-minute candle that entered. When this candle took out a liquidity resting below the here and then went into the zone, I was anticipating a rally above, away from the zone, right? So I was anticipating that at least price would mitigate about 50% of the whole price range, right? I was hoping that price would mitigate about 50% of it, but unfortunately it didn't happen. So, and I wasn't scared to enter at the tip of the zone, right? So I took some buys here on Euro USD from this point, and then I got outside from this area because of this indecision candle here, and then because price didn't come all the way to the 50% of the zone, I wasn't really confident about the trade, so I only took some short buys, and then I got out around this area when I saw this rejection, because this candle also didn't give me any wick. I think the time I was looking at it, had look at the wick, it was very small. I didn't even see that at that time, but I thought it didn't give any wick, so I wasn't confident with the setup, and then I exited the trade, and hopefully it was for the better, because you could see that from the price started dropping aggressively, and it even went below the zone into an unexpected level, a level that I wasn't even anticipating price to go to, right? But then it was still, if you look at it from the high time frame perspective, it's still within the range, right? Now today is Monday, 16th of October, and then I was looking for a trade with a daily pip cycle strategy that I use. So I was looking for a trade, and then as usual I'll look for the highs or the low of the Asian session to be taken out, and from there I'll look for the displacement above the recent high before I'll enter a trade, forgetting that on the high time frame I was bullish, right? I was anticipating buys, I was anticipating a bullish movement, but then the daily pip cycle presented me with a sell scenario. It presented me with a sell scenario, and it could have also been possible because the cells that I was being presented with could have been a price movement as a retracement, and then it will continue to the upside, right? But that didn't happen. This is what, let me explain what has happened today. Now this blue box here is the Asian session, and then this is the high of the Asian session, and then this is the low of the Asian session. Right, now the high of the Asian session got taken out, but then I didn't get the displacement below the most recent low that was created, and then this recent low here on the 1 minute didn't. If you look at this low, it didn't take out this high, right? So I wasn't interested to enter a trade at this point, so I had to wait. And then I saw this price movement where price took out this high, and then I was anticipating that it would come back to take out this low. So that's why this was the only significant low I was looking at. And then it happened. We had a very nice displacement below this lower high right here, and then I saw this fair value gap here, and also on the 3 minutes. I think it was 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Yeah, on the 5 minutes there was this large indecision candle here, right? So that's where I took my buys, my sells from. So right from this point I was in a sells on Euro USD, and then my stop loss was above here for I think 7 pips. Yeah, my stop loss was like 7 pips, and I was targeting my 20 pip take profit as usual. But then the 20 pips went beyond the low of the Asian session. Usually the prime target should always be the low of the Asian session, right? So I was even anticipating that at least if I get a push close to the low of the Asian session, I would exit all my positions. But this is what happened, guys. This is what happened. Look at this. We had a very nice push away from the zone. If you could look here, had a very nice push away from the zone, and then boom, this happened. I was like, oh god, why? At this point I wasn't planning on closing my trade. I was just like, it's normal. But then I started getting more concerned when this push here didn't take out the low that was created here. I was anticipating that this push would take out the low, right, confirming some more bearish price movements, and then that didn't happen. It barely took out the low, right? It didn't even get to it. So I was just hoping that it would come back from this point and then take out this low also, but then that didn't also happen. Guys, today was one hell of a trade. This trade really let me suffer. I don't know, I went through a lot of emotional phases, and then this price movement also happened. This time I was still in the trade. I was just hoping that it would still come below and take out all the lows that have been created here, but then that didn't also happen. So this is the point where I was like, nah, look at the change in trend. If you could see right here, you will notice that. Sorry guys, let me just mark out what I was using to illustrate. Oh, I just lost my my recent tab. I don't know where it was going to. It's okay, it's back. So this is the point where I was in the trade, and then you could see that. Let me change the thickness of this. it will be more visible. So if you follow keenly, you will see that this is what was happening. We were creating lower highs and then lower lows, right? Created another lower high here, created a lower low here, we created more of equal highs or whatever here, and then we started creating higher lows, right? This was a higher high, we created a higher low here. I was anticipating that price would come and then give me a lower low, but then it didn't happen. We barely took out the high of this price range also, so I was a bit confused at this point. If you had taken out the high of this price range, I would have just exited my trade, right? But then that didn't happen. At this point, I didn't know what I was doing, so I was confused. I just had to stay calm and then look at what price was going to do. Price came here, barely took out the high of this price range, gave me a lower high here, and then created another high. This was the point where I got completely lost in the trade and I decided to exit my positions. So I exited my positions, I think right around this area. I exited my positions and then look at what happened, guys. Price came back into the range, giving me some lower lows, or it's actually took out this low here, but then didn't even go close to the low of the Asian session. It started trending upwards again, and then price has been trending very bullish since morning, guys. Look at this. This is the point where the trade was happening, and then price has been rallying above all the highs here. It has been breaking all the highs, and it has been taking out the most recent lower high that was created before price tapped into the zone, right? So this was the trade. It didn't work out, but then I know why, because I was supposed to follow the higher time frame direction, and then I didn't do that. If I had followed the higher time frame direction, I would have ignored the break of the Asian high, right? And I would only anticipate a retracement into the consolidation zone, right? So you can see that at this point price consolidated for a bit, right? It was just bouncing off, and then this was the point where it broke out of the range. So if I had focused on this consolidation and then looked for a valid zone to buy from, I would have gotten an entry. But even that, I'm sure I would have only looked at this price range here as my entry, and then I would take this to as inducement, right? I'll just take this as inducement, and then you see that price didn't even get closer to the my area of interest. So this is, I'm sure this trade wouldn't have happened, but since I've spotted it now, maybe God willing tomorrow, if price shows some signs of giving me a bearish movement into the zone, I would be interested in taking the buys. If price sells off maybe during London and then in New York, he decides to rally from this zone, I would love to join the trade. So guys, this is another breakdown, more of a bit of a strategy explanation of what happened today. If you like these videos, please give me a like and then subscribe to my channel. Give me video suggestions on what you would like me to do on my channel, and then I would love to do that. Alright, so until then, see you in the next video. Bye.